Cardi B, you know where I at, you know where I be. I'm in the club just to party. I'm there, I get paid to be. I be in and out that bank so much I know they tired of me. Honestly, don't give up about who dropped 366. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just waiting for you guys to come on. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my chat. Hi, Sarah. Let me just let everybody in. I should announce it. Let me go announce it. Instead of singing, I should have been announcing it. All right, let's go to Facebook and announce it for all the Facebook people. So you guys, we're going to be talking about episodes 8 and 9, which are pretty good episodes. I must admit, I just finished watching episode 9 right now, so it's fresh in my brain. And just right off the dome, Colt is a gaslighter and a liar. And it's like he followed Jess around just so he could say that she's violent. Like her throwing the shoe, as Jesse would say. She threw her shoe at me. Violent, you know, she's like, I don't want to talk to you. And he follows her outside to say, well, why are you so violent? Like it, and the way he was looking at her, so scared, I just couldn't. HEA, EP8 and EP9. Control V. And so, yeah, that's what I'm hot off the heels of. I'm hot off the heels of, I mean, Paul is a grade A loser. The fact is that he's saying that every time he tries to go get a job, he can't because his background. Paul, you don't have to tell them to work at McDonald's. Like, he says, before I could even turn in the application. And I'm like, oh, so you're running your mouth before you turn in the application and they do the background check. Just let them do the background check. Ugh. It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. It's just the stupidest thing. And it makes me mad. It makes me mad. I mean, especially with all the shit that's going down with Paul and Karini now. And it's very annoying. Okay, she's posted on all the stuff. Let's get back to you guys. How are you doing? Hi, I'm back. Oh, Mickey's here. Hello. Hello, everyone. 83 people in the room, 18 likes. We can get some thumbs up. Ah, Mickey, you're off to tennis? How fun. All right. Thank you for joining me for the 15 minutes. All righty. Hi, Lucy. Oh, Lele. Okay, great. I'm glad you're well. Okay. So let's start off with just talking about Paul and Karini. So Paul's a big fat loser. He meets his mother at the dog store, the pet shop, because he wants her to buy dog food for his 2 dogs that he doesn't need because he can't afford because he has a family. And his mother tells him that he's a loser, that he's a deadbeat. And Paul is like, well, Karini also says I'm fat. Do I look fat? And his mother's like, Paul, get out of my face. I mean, at 35 years old, you ask your mother to hang out, to go to the pet food store just so that you could get her to buy you pet food. I mean, that's the shit you do when you're like 19 trying to scam on your parents, you know, where you're like, hey, I'll go with you to the grocery store. I'll go with you to Target. You know, that's what you do when you're that old. But you don't do that when you're fucking 35 years old and went to a whole other country and got yourself a whole family. Okay? You don't do that at that point. I'm starting, like, Paul's been getting on my nerves, but like, it's to another level at this point. So what he does in episode 9 is that Karini's like, look, you need to get a job. Okay? We live by this loud ass train. It shakes the house. And he's like, I don't understand what I have to do to convince Karini that this is the place that we need to be, that I have the most opportunity here. Yet it's been a month and he still hasn't gotten a job. And so she's like, look, you need to get a job in 2 months or I'm going back to Brazil. As she watches him whole bodily dig in a giant trash bag looking for baby clippers. I mean, I sometimes see her and I'm just like, Karini's like, do I have an example of like a baby? Karini's like this with Pierre. She's like looking at Boo Boo the Fool, Stupid Paul, just like, Mama, save your monies. I'm coming back. He's an idiot. You know? Like, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. The situation that she's got herself in. I mean, Pierre is just cute, though. He's so cute. And he just doesn't know what he can do to convince her, or doesn't know what he can do to make her happy. Paul, go get a job. The Walmart is hiring. I promise you. You could work anywhere. I mean, there are people, white people who have records can get jobs. It's what? And I said it. I don't care. You go out and get a job. Talk to somebody about being on their farm. It's just because he doesn't want to find a job. He wants to do what he wants to do. Remember when we thought he was in like tech? Remember when he thought he was like doing tech work and computer work for like his dad's company? Why don't you go work for your dad? Your dad doesn't have any open positions for you. It's just so dumb. He gets on my nerves. He gets on my nerves. There are plenty of people who have records, who have jobs. Okay? Plenty of people. You're not going to get the most amazing job you want, but you can get a job. That's it about Paul and Karini. So the next couple, I guess the person I'm going to move on to is Larissa. Why did that stick in my head like that? Larissa confronts Eriki. And Eriki is like, I thought we weren't going to talk about shit that happened in the past. I thought we were going to move forward. I thought you said you weren't a jealous person. And she's just like, I just need you to tell me everything that you told every person ever about me. And he's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go into this, like, whatever. And she's pissed off because she's like, well, I mean, it was mad disrespectful, but also he used her phone in which to do it. Sorry. He used her phone to do it. I guess she gave him a phone because he's too cheap to buy a phone or whatever. And so she's pissed off because he used her phone. Alma says, you're live. I got therapy. Self-care. Oh, yeah, I did my therapy session earlier today. 10:30. I was on that phone talking to my therapist. So, what am I talking about? What's it talking about? He's too cheap. Okay, Eriki. Yeah, he's too cheap. So Eric is pissed off that she went through his phone and is confronting him. Doesn't say sorry. Oh, Alex, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. That's a cute little fox. I do enjoy foxes as like characters. I just thought of that right now. So she gets upset. She takes her phone. She I guess packs her bags. I don't know. She goes to see Carmen. Carmen is looking good, camera ready. And then because she takes Eric's phone, the other roommate, David, calls Larissa and says, Larissa, you took his phone. Why would you do that? That's grounds for him to call the police on you. So that triggers her because she's like, don't ever threaten me with the police. Don't be having your roommate contact me. She's pissed off. She said the phone was hers. And then there's a knock at the door, girl. She thinks they called the police. And so she's worried, and Carmen goes to the door and answers it, and it's Amazon. So all is well. But now Larissa is just like worried. So she goes back to the house and she forgets her keys and she goes into the back door and she has a conversation with Eriki again, where he is again like, you told me you weren't going to be jealous. You told me that you weren't going to be doing all these things. And she's like, Eric, you talked about my personal life with someone. Like, you need to tell me every detail, every situation. He's like, I don't remember. So he's just yelling at her, not apologizing for his behavior, just mad that she went through his stuff. He calls her, what does he call her? No, she calls him a bitch and says that he's cheap. And she says all this shit to him. And then still wants him to like give her a laundry list of all the negative things that he's ever said about her. And I was like, girl, that's not even the point. You need to make a choice. Shit or get off the pot. Like, don't be trying to get him to like, you know, break open the closet. So then she tells him that his phone is off and it's just underneath her mattress in the bedroom the whole time. And so she comes and brings him back the phone. It's a whole mess. But then at the end, she actually gets really sincere with the cameras and says that she isn't very sexually advanced. And it really hurts her that he did that to her. And it really broke her heart. And then I thought to myself, girl, you got 2 kids and you're not that sexual. Like, you haven't been. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've had sex with at least 3 men. Like, you know? Anyways, so I just feel bad. I don't feel bad for her. Like, I don't care about Larissa at this point. I'm just like, girl, you, what? I don't feel bad. All right. So then let's move on to, what's his name? The Joker. That's not his name. What's his name? Colt and Jess. Okay. So now you got Colt and Jess over here acting up. So Debbie's plotting. This is the first season I've ever wanted to make fun of her voice. Like, the 2 other 90 Day Fiancé people that I listen to all do an impression of her voice. And I don't know, she became the villain. Like, before it was like, oh, you know, poor Debbie. And now I'm just like, she's just the villain that's like, I just want Colt to recognize that, you know, they're moving too fast and Jess is not right for him, you know, and she's a problem. So we have Debbie who's scheming, okay? She's trying to cause friction, and she succeeds in causing friction between Colt and Jess. So she's been communicating with Vanessa because she wants to know how the kitties are doing. She wants to know if the cats miss her. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a cat lover, but cats don't miss nobody, okay? They don't give a shit about anyone. So she's calling Vanessa, and then Colty and Jess come into her room and they're like, yeah, Mom, let's go out on the town. We're in Rio or whatever they are. Where are they at? I don't know. They're somewhere. Let's go out. And I'm like, why are you guys even over here asking Debbie if she wants to go out? Like, pourquoi? But okay, maybe it was a scene that they wanted to do. And so she's like, no, I don't want to go. And they're like, come on, Mom, let's go. Yeah, Debbie, let's go. And she's like, well, on other news, Erika, what's her name? Everyone's name is messed up. I am so sorry, you guys. I don't know what's going on with me today. I feel like I might have a slight headache. Maybe I need to eat. Am I dehydrated? Anyways, she's like, well, Vanessa's on the phone. Vanessa, she says that the cats are okay. That sends Jess into a whirlwind. But she doesn't act completely a fool. She just gets upset and says, fuck Vanessa, bitch, or something like that, and then walks off. And I don't understand why she's so mad at Vanessa. This feels like really not very woman support woman situation that's happening right now. And I feel like Jess is a younger person, and I think that women should support themselves. Like, it was weird. I was annoyed by that. It's not Vanessa's fault. It's not Vanessa's fault to be the keeper of her promises, Colt's promises. So Debbie's like, why is Jess so upset? I'm trying to get like, you know, she's plotting. And so she tells Jess that Jess is being immature and she's a little girl and she needs to stop being mad about people being friends because people are allowed to be friends. And if she can't handle it, then she's not ready to be in a relationship. And I'm like, Debbie, you the one that needs to take your own advice, okay? Because your boyfriend Colt is not, oh my God, Paula, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat, Paula. I appreciate it. Your boyfriend Colt is in the same situation. You need to take your advice because you're telling her that she needs to trust the people in Colt's life, but you don't trust the people in Colt's life. He is a 35-year-old man and you're still quote unquote looking out for him, or 32, girl. However old he is, he's too old. Okay? Too old. And so Debbie tried to act brand new, like she don't know what she's doing and she plotting. And Jess gets upset and leaves. And then she tries to convince Colt that Jess is just nothing but a little girl and that he better be careful because he doesn't know what Jess is going to do. Like, so he should sleep in her room in the fold-out bed because Jess might come in the middle of the night and fucking stab him. Girl, I don't know. But whatever it is, it's too much. It is too much. It just feels like I just get really sensitive when people have like crazy hyperbole about people of color or like foreigners or anything like that. Like, calm down. I mean, by any means necessary, she is just doing the most. By any means necessary, she's going to break them up. So, I mean, she did her best. Colt says that he sees through his mother trying to break them up. But Colt is also in his own drama school as well. He's in his own like telenovela as well. Because he's like, I don't know where Jess is. I don't know where she went. Of course, because you never even followed her. She got up and left your mother's room and you sat there with your stupid tan square blazer and that dumbass smirk on your face or look on your face, and you just let her leave. And she's like, Jess is like, Colt's not a man because he didn't get up and come follow me and talk to me. He stayed with his mother. He's just a little boy and I have to agree. And then he's like, I don't know what to do. She's so upset. I don't know why she's upset. You know why she's upset? Because you lied to her. Instead of just saying like, look, I'm going to be friends with Vanessa. If you have a problem with that, then we should break up. Because I'm going to be friends with Vanessa. Period. Everybody always wants things to happen that don't make any sense to happen. Like, just talk about your feelings, say what it is you want, and then make the hard choices. You don't have to lie. You ain't got to lie, Colt. You ain't got to lie. Because my sister-in-law, baby cousin Tracy, said she saw you there all hugged up with some tramp. Now tell me who she is. Because my sister-in-law, baby cousin Tracy. It's messy and it's all for TV. Because if you're watching these Instagram streets, you know that this whole thing was probably set up by Colt and Vanessa to begin with. But my thing is like, why would Colt and Vanessa go in just to bring Jess in to cause drama and create a storyline so that he could have lots of sex with Jeff? These names are not coming out of my mouth. So that he could have lots of sex with Jess, only for him and Vanessa to get together. So I don't necessarily know if this was brought up from the beginning, but he sure did enlist Vanessa's help when it came to sending her those text messages, telling Vanessa to leave him alone and that he was in love with Jess so that he can screenshot it and send it to Jess. It's a whole mess because she's like, look at these screenshots. You sent me screenshots stating that you had stopped talking to Vanessa, but that was a whole lie. It was a whole lie. Okay, so homegirl Jess somehow gets Vanessa's numbers from Colt's phone producers, calls Vanessa or texts Vanessa. Her and Vanessa have a text conversation back and forth. And Vanessa says, yes, I've still been in contact with Colt. So Vanessa gets very upset. She goes upstairs. She goes and finds him in their hotel room, and she takes off a shoe and she throws it at him. And he's dodging those shoes like he's never dodged a dodgeball in his life. I mean, I've never seen someone, it was like comical the way he was like, and I'm like, catch the shoe. Catch it. She's not a fucking baseball pitcher. She wasn't throwing at you 95 miles an hour. She didn't even throw it at your face. She threw it at your kneecaps or your crotch, and you couldn't catch it? You sissy ass mama's boy. I don't care what. I'm tired of defending Colt. I'm tired of being nice. Fuck this. All this. Listen, this is about to be not safe for your kids. If y'all be having your kids watch it, it's not going to be safe. No. Colt is a little bitch, and I don't care. You were dodging shoes? Why? Catch the shoe. Then you want to talk about it's a stiletto and it hurt. And then why is she being violent? So girl is like, okay, whatever. She puts the phone up in his face. He tries to reach out. She slaps him back. I watched that scene very carefully. And she did what she needed to do so that she didn't do too much to him. She threw the shoes at him. She saw he was acting like a little bitch. And so she grabbed all her shit and she left. And the entire time he's like, Jess, talk to me. It was like Paul and Karini. It was just like, Karini, fala, Karini, fala. But it was just, Jess, can we talk? Can we get 5 minutes to talk? I'm like, then talk. There was nothing stopping. I'm pretty sure from the time she left that hotel room to the time she got downstairs, it was more than 5 minutes, bro. She had all the bags and you didn't even try to help her not once. And she's like, I don't need your help. Still help her. She got 2 bags and she's wearing 4-inch stilettos. Help her. He is just such a punk bitch. Like, who wants to be with him? Who wants that? Thank you for the 379 people in this room, but if you could give this video a thumbs up, I would mucho appreciate it. Let's get to 100. Don't forget to exit out the chat and come back in. Okay, listen. I can't. The gaslighting, the hyperbole, it's too much. Like, don't be making shit up that didn't happen. Violence? You were in her face. She did everything she could to get away from you, and you're still begging her to have 5 more minutes of conversation to explain yourself. Go ahead and explain yourself. He could have explained himself in the lift ride down. He could have explained himself like in front of the hotel before she got into the Uber. Like, he had plenty of time to explain herself, but he just wanted to keep repeating the same thing to let the audience believe somehow that he was being put out or he was in an imposition. And she was the one being crazy. She was trying to walk away from you so she didn't hurt your bitch ass. So there's that, and I'm pissed off. Like, I can't. He is just, I mean, ugh. And then he'll have the audacity to ask her father for the hand in marriage. Talking about, I was going to marry you. Like, no, she was going to say no. She said no. I was going to marry you. I can't. I can't. And the way, how welcoming and warm her family was to his family. They brought them gifts. Did Debbie and Colt bring anything from Las Vegas to her family? Not that we saw. They could have got some stupid I Love Las Vegas shirt somewhere. KG, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Did they bring them anything? No. Not a shot glass. Not a t-shirt, nothing that we saw. And I'm just like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand people. I'm over it. Okay, done talking about them. But Colt and his stupid, like, I'm just really concerned. I feel like Jess doesn't love me and I was just worried about the violence. Fuck you. They're worried about the violence. Nothing. Anybody else sweating and hot? Oh my God. I mean, you're right. I do like Jess too. I think that she got out of the situation. She was like, I'm not doing this. It's over. I'm done. I'm out. And I appreciated that. I'm trying to get this fan to hit me just right, you know? Okay. I was going to propose to you. He just weaponizes everything. Okay. Next couple that we're going to talk about is Tanya and Sinjin. Now, Tanya's getting a really good edit this season. I mean, she looks good, and poor Sinjin is a mess. And I don't even think he's getting a bad edit. I mean, he might be getting a slightly bad edit, but what I think is that this guy is homesick. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Oumi. Thank you. I just think that this guy is going through a depression. He's missing his family. A lot changed in a very little bit of time. They're filming, and the person that he moved halfway across the world for does not feel like they're soulmates. I'm going to keep bringing it back to that. She can't take that back. She cannot take that back. That was a cold stone blow. So they get to South Africa. First of all, this man taking off his shoes on the airplane. I take off my shoes on the airplane and I put on fuzzy socks. And I always have a shoe that I can slip in and out of. That's how I feel. It's just disgusting. Like, his mother calls him a free spirit, and I really do think that he is. And I really, really feel like this is why he's having a hard time with being in the US and being with Tanya. Okay, so they get off the plane, and he's so excited. He's like, I'm back in South Africa, and I wish I never left. And we get a lot of looks from Tanya, like where she's trying to still stay happy, but she's like, she realizes that she might lose Sinjin in this trip. And I think that it's very evident that she feels that way. She's trying to put a curb on his behavior, like how he's going to behave when he gets around his friends and family. And he does not want to hear it. He's like, this trip is for me. I didn't want you to come, but I invited you to come and you said yes, because really that's what we know it is. He didn't want her to come. He invited her because that's his wife and he knows that he should, but like he would have preferred her not to say yes. So he's like, listen, you're not going to get over here and try to tell me what I am and what I'm not going to do, because this is my vacation. I get to be around my peoples. I get to be in my country of origin that belongs to another group of people, and they keep playing South African music. Why don't they play Dutch music? What the fuck ever. Why don't they play Afrikaans music? Is there no Afrikaans music, or is it just like the white version of whatever the black people are singing? Anyways, okay, moving on. So he's like, you're not gonna tell me shit. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Okay. And Tanya's trying to like talk to him about it. He's not here for it. And I'm just like, Tanya, be quiet. Leave this man alone. That's what I feel like. Leave this man alone. But I get it. It's her husband. So I guess I kind of don't get it. But at the same time, I get him. And so she is trying to be supportive of him, but she's still going through her situation as well. So they get there, the mom and the sister, they're so happy to see him. They are a little skeptical of Tanya, and they have a lot of questions for Tanya, which I feel that these questions, they better be very careful on how they ask them, because Sinjin is a grown-ass 30-year-old man. He doesn't need the rescue of his mother and his sister in to come and tell him anything. And if he has anything to say, if they have anything to say about their relationship, it needs to be said to Sinjin and not to Tanya. I hope they hold that true. Okay, I hope they hold that true. So they rented an Airbnb. The family's there. I guess they're staying together. I don't quite remember what happens after in episode 8, but in episode 9, he goes to see his brother. He's planning a hangout with his friends. She goes to the marketplace, which I really wanted to be at that marketplace because there's a lot of things that I was like, ooh, I want to purchase in that marketplace. And they talk to Tanya and they get a better sense of what Tanya wants from Sinjin. And his mother is like, you can't be demanding. You can't force it, because he's given up so much. He's sacrificed so much to move to the US. And I am starting to agree. Like, if this man is not used to being on a schedule and he's used to just like doing whatever he wants to do, quitting jobs, like being an actual free spirit, as long as he doesn't have any kids, I say let the man live his life. You know what I'm saying? And so he decided that he does love Tanya. And so he made the sacrifice to move to the US. And like, being a free spirit in the US is not easy. It's not. Like, the only people that I know that are free spirits in the US either have a lot of money because they've got family backing, or they have no money and they're living on rice and beans. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no free spirit who's kind of just in the middle. There's none of that. It doesn't even happen in the US. Like, there's no way it can, because you need to pay for room and board and certain necessities. You have to be at least making like, I mean, depending on where you are in the US, I think if you lived like in the South or maybe parts of the Midwest, you could probably live for like, after taxes, $2,000 a month. That's if you didn't have to pay a car note. So that means you don't have to pay insurance. Because if you have a car note, like what? Car notes are anywhere from $250 to $600, depending on your credit or lack thereof credit. And then your insurance, depending on your driving record, could be anywhere from, I don't know, in some states. In California, I have a good driving record and I pay like $90 a month. So like, room, electric, food, like internet, like it, you cannot be a free spirit here. Like, $2,000 a month, maybe for one person who doesn't have a car note, will be able to survive it. So, like, I know that she's frustrated that he keeps saying about how things are great in South Africa, but he has the support he needs and wants in South Africa. He has the sunshine. Like, I don't know what the weather is like in South Africa, but my assumption is because it's relatively closer to the equator than Connecticut, that they don't have the seasons the way that the seasons are. And let me tell you, seasonal depression is a real shit. It's a real thing. And I saw that he was in Connecticut during the winter months. That shit is hard when you come from a place that's sunny all the time. Moving from California or moving from like, Southern California to New York was hard. My first 2 years, I was depressed the entire time. So, and then on top of that, your partner gets hurt. They can't work. Pressure gets put on you to work, but you're already going through your depression, missing your family and being boxed and caged in. Girl, it's a lot. So I really do hope that she does what she needs to do to give him the space, because Sinjin might not come back with her. Let's be honest. I don't think Sinjin is ready to come back at all. Hi, me Shannon. Thank you so much for being here. Like, All right. So the next couple that we're going to talk about is Angela and Michael. Girl, so we got Angela over here acting up, cutting up a bloody fool. This is after she's, wearing the flawless shirt thrown up in the streets over a goat head. They have the really good dinner with his mother, and they have a conversation because she is yet to tell Michael that she don't got no eggs and that she could have cancer. So they meet with the doctor. They like walking in some kind of reserve, and they sit down. They have a phone conversation with the doctor. I wonder what that time difference is like. They have a phone conversation with the doctor. And the doctor says, you actually have a pretty good bill of health. Meanwhile, Angela's like, really? I'm healthy? Like all of that. And I'm just like, oh, girl. Angela's getting on my nerves. So the doctor tells her, basically, you're not going to be able to have kids. You don't have cancer, though, but that egg is not an egg. And if it is an egg, it's an egg you don't want to be fertilized, girl. That is this is your brain. This is your brain while smoking. That's what kind of egg it is. One of those eggs. It's not good. No bueno. And so she tells Michael this, and Michael has a decision to make. I really just want Michael to leave Angela, honestly, at this point. I think they did what they had to do. They made good television. They tried to make it work, but he can't be with Angela. Not for real, for real. Not for real, for real. He can't leave his family and his support structure to be surrounded by a bunch of loud-ass crazy people. I mean, I rooted for them for so long. And it's not even that the kid situation is what turned me off. It was just more so like, it's time. It's the end. Like, we've come to the end of the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to be able to have a kid with Angela. And could you imagine what Angela is like pregnant at 50? Could you imagine like how is he going to teach that kid anything worth of value living with Angela? I'm like, there are better American women that you could find. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to your lineage, Michael. So Angela's good, and she wants to find out if he will still be with her and like what they're going to do. And so then the next episode, they have a boat ride, and he says that, he's okay being with her without having kids. He's sad about it, he says to the camera, but to her face, he says he loves her and that, they're going to be together. However, he doesn't know how his mother will take it. And Angela's like, at this point, I'm sick of jumping hoops for your family. Like, they're going to have to take it or they're not going to take it. Like, you got to be a man. And he's like, you don't understand my culture. And she's like, I'm tired of hearing about your culture. And this is where we're getting a little finicky. Okay? Because now she's over it. So the next step is that they go try cakes. And I wanted to taste every single one of those cakes. Like, every single one I wanted to taste. I was like, nom, 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 nom. And so she loved it too, girl. And then they're with his sister and his aunt, and they talk about the child. And she says, she gets nervous about talking about the child because she can't have one. And they, again, start talking about how it's going to affect the mother and how everything is going to go from there. And Angela's getting frustrated because, she's okay with like, speaking her piece, because in her mind, she's a grown ass woman. I feel like Angela has been through a lot in her life. Her own mother couldn't tell her what to do. No man could tell her what to do. And so she's not coming halfway around the world to have these like, well put together, smooth skinned women telling her what to do. You know what I'm saying? So his family is trying to impose, but they're like, look, we're going to throw this a big ass wedding. Okay. We're going to help you pay for it. We're going to buy the food, buy the decorations. We need that baby. So you need to let him get another woman. And Angela's like, no, I'm not into that. There will be no side chicks. So that's not going to happen. So. And I'm glad that she said that the way she said it, actually. I just still don't want them to be together. Ooh, 551 people in this room. What are y'all doing at 2 p.m. on a Monday? Okay. Speaking of money, girl. Asuelu and Kalani. Ciao. Okay. So they've decided that they're going to go, what I thought was to Washington. Apparently they're in Portland. I don't know what their traveling situation is, but they've been traveling for 12 hours for some reason. Don't know why it took them 12 hours to get there. And the kids are really grumpy. Kennedy is crying. And so Kalani says that we can't go meet your family tonight because the kids are grumpy. Now, Asuelu gets pissed off again. And he's like, I want to go see my family. They'll be fine. Personally, I would have said, then I'm going to stay at the hotel because I'm tired. If I don't want to, listen, you cannot force Waha Molino. You cannot, unless I'm getting paid and there is a script or there are lines or there's motivation or there's even a shadow of something going on. If I don't want to do something, you can't make me. I can't even make me. That was one of the major problems as me as a child, you know, like when they were like, go give such and such a hug. Want him to stop being like that. Go say hi to this person. Okay, we're going to this person's house. No, we just came back from somebody else's house. Can we go home, please? Like, and now I recognize it as, or through therapy, I've realized that that is me just needing time away. I am an introvert. Like, as much as I'm able to be like, yeah, da da da, I'm an introvert. And girl, if she needs to be at home and by herself and she needs to just stare at a TV or stare at her phone without anybody saying shit to her, that is what she needs. It is what I cannot turn it on or off. Okay, it happens. So if that were me and I had been traveling with crying ass kids, and it seems like her kids are always crying, which all kids are always crying, but they always like to show Kennedy screaming, then I can't go. I can't go and give the pleasantries. Not with the bullshit I know I'm about to walk into. You know, you asking for money and shit. I already don't have a good relationship with you. Oh, no, my face will be all kinds of, even if I'm not meaning to. Sometimes the people will be like, why are you looking at me like that? And I'm like what? And I don't even know my face is like this. Like, I can't feel the difference between this and this. I mean, I can, but like when it's happening, I can't. So can't do it. So I would have needed to go home and just tell him to go on his own. But he got so pissed and like was acting like a fucking child again. And so they get to the house and he then is like, okay, I'm cool. Like, I get it. We're tired. Let's go to sleep. They both see ghosts in the middle of the night. So they bonded over that. And then they get up and Kalini comes over because Kalini's there to be on Kalani's side and to help her with the kids. Ramsterdam, thank you so much. No, yeah. Excuse me. Asuelu is a childish dork. So they get to like Portland, right? This area they're meeting where there's a bunch of food trucks and all I want is to eat everything. Oh, what was his sister eating? Like, what was that? It looked like a stuffed zucchini. Stuffed with what? What? Was it meat? I want it. We have zucchini here. We have like a giant zucchini. Can I core that and stuff that with meat and cook it? Can I like make it like ground beef and like potato? Yeah. I'm gonna figure this out. Anyways, so they sit down and Asuelu orders a bunch of food and right on cue, the family asks for money. How much money did you bring? I brought 100. Then he wants to bring Kalani into it. And then Kalani's like, well, you know, it's hard because all we have is his part-time job and I stay at home. I don't work. And I know that they wanted to be like, what about all this? Like looking at the camera crew, like, where's the money from that? And then Kalani asks a very interesting question. She says to the sister, do you send money back home? And the sister, it says that's none of your business, which means no. Because if the answer was yes, I do send money back home. Like we all do. Asuelu hasn't sent money back home in 6 months and everybody's feeling the difference. Like, so when he worked, he paid for things. And that's what the mother, you know, come on, make it make sense. Make it make sense. All they're just saying is that you need to take care of your family first. You need to take care of your mother first. Like your kids will be fine. Let Kalani's parents take care of Kalani and the kids. They've got money. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I need a proper breakdown of how the Samoan structure to life. Because we know in certain cultures, like the boys, they stay, like in Indian cultures, the boys stay with their parents. And so the woman has to move into that house. Like, I need a detailed list of the structure of the way the shit works. Because what do you mean? How many other boys are there? Is it just a boy? Like, break it down. Like, just be like, just make the shit make sense. Asuelu is the only boy in Samoan culture. It is expected this. I do understand it. And they did come at him a little bit more, telling him to get a full-time job, that he needs to get a full-time job. But they still want $1,000 a month from him? Or is it just $1,000 for now because he hasn't paid in a while, but then they'll accept $200 a month after going forward? Like, what are the rules? Make it make sense is all I'm saying. But then the mother gets upset and is like, okay, give me my $100. I'm ready to go. And then they just get up and leave. And so he's saying that he didn't equate the fact that his, mother got money from him to their direct support of him. And now he's starting to see that. But I wonder if he really is. Or if he really even cares if that's the case. The fact is that they're mad at him and he doesn't want them to be mad at him. I mean, and also isn't it weird that the sister is deaf? But only one sibling learned sign language? And was that American Sign Language? I just was really confused about that. And then he's gonna be on camera crying. This is the next episode. When I my kids. I want to hear what his mother has to say about that when he's crying on TV. All right, who are we missing? Is that it? Oh no, girl, Andre. Woo! Andre. Kaya D says, isn't that the same thing that was going on with Chantel and Pedro? No, I feel like it's slightly different. Chantel and Pedro don't have kids. And I think Pedro had a whole job. And $1,000, they wasn't asking him for $1,000. They was not asking him for $1,000. They was asking him for TVs and shit. And Chantel felt that should have been her money. Which, I don't know. I mean, listen, I have a hard time understanding what it's like to be a couple. I've always been solo dolo. So I'm like, I'll make my own money then. You send them stuff. But I guess when you're married, that it's all the same. It's awkward for me because my parents had separate bank accounts. And so to me, men and women have separate bank accounts. Like, my dad, as long as my dad paid the things that he needed to pay, like the mortgage and the insurances and whatever, then the rest of his money was on him. I don't know, my mom was never like, why didn't you buy me this? They have their own, they each have their own savings. My mother is living off of her savings and pension, and my father's living off of his savings and pension. And as long as, like I said, he pays the insurances and the mortgage, and she pays what she pays and saves what she saves, that's how they talk about it. My mom is like, I gave your dad $200 yesterday. I don't know what he did with it. So to me, men and women who are married have separate bank accounts and do things separately. But so that is why I have the opinion that I have. I already talked about Paul and Karini. Oh, here we go. It's the Pedro and Chantel fight. Pedro and Chantel didn't have furniture or things in their home. Pedro's family comes before Chantel too. But see, this is what I think Chantel, she need to buy the furniture then. That is why I don't have an understanding of why his money, and if that's the case, then you need to buy the sofa. I'll buy the love seat. You know what I'm saying? I think Pedro was paying their rent too. That's why Chantel was mad that they living in a small apartment but what is their rent? Is their rent $200 American? Is their rent $300 American? So anyways, let me get out of this conversation. They're still together. Yeah. Let me get out of this conversation because we are gonna fight. Okay. So Andres, listen. Chuck, Charlie, rude as fuck. Okay. They wake up, Andre and Libby wake up and they eat some gelatinous That don't have no flavor in it. That straight up looks like the definition of using every bit of the animal. Like, you know where Jello comes from? You know where the like gelatin comes from animal hooves or some shit. Like, so for people to create a Jello dish, like I'm always, and not even a like sugary Jello dish, a savory Jello dish. That's not for me. What does that Jello taste like? Isn't it like fat? What is it? What is it? Ha! I was very upset with that breakfast. I was very upset with it. I wanted everything else on the table, but that gelatinous situation was not it, son. It was not it. Okay. So then, what do? They get up and they're talking about Chuck and Charlie at dinner and how, excuse me, Libby doesn't defend him, which I think is true. She doesn't defend him as much as she should. And she doesn't make her parents or her family stand down. And even though she said she did feel some kind of way that they kept jumping in and asking him about his past, like, settle that shit then. Just ask him, Andre, why did you move? And then go to her family and be like, look, if y'all keep on asking him why the fuck he moved to Ireland, like, I can't, you guys got to go home. He moved to Ireland because it was better job opportunities. He didn't want to be a police officer in Moldova. You can like a place that you're from, but you don't necessarily want to create roots there. Like, maybe there's more opportunity. They're talking about he wants opportunity to find an American. So that's why he went to Ireland. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? Why wouldn't you go to London? Well, how would he have more of an opportunity? Like that, Charlie, they don't make no sense, okay? And then they go to some kind of like just rustic-y like inn that looked, the theme was just wood carved everywhere, and I loved it. And his friends are there, and I love the fact that most of the people spoke English so that they could hear Charlie's bullshit. So Chuck and Charlie are asking questions again, and of course Charlie's acting like it's an inquisition. When listen, Charlie is no angel, okay? All of them have had DUIs. All of them have mugshots. All of the Chuck family have mugshots, okay? And they want to know, like, no, listen, this is the thing that Libby and Andre are already married. Why are they behaving like anything that they uncover in Moldova is going to change the fact that they are married with a child that looks like Andre and they have the same shaped head, okay? Ellie's parents finna be together, okay? Ellie's parents ain't going nowhere, no matter what you uncover about him. And what does it matter? Oh, in the US, we would know more about his background. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't even look into his background. The only reason you're looking into his background right now is because he's not American. Like, come now. I don't like this lie. I don't like these lies. Oh, in America, it would have been like this. In America, we say this. In America, we do whatever. I just, like, listen, the most annoying thing about Americans are cisgendered American white men. Charlie is annoying. And as much as Andre was absolutely wrong for behaving the way he did, Charlie was fucking annoying. And Libby puts herself in the middle, but she didn't need to be in the middle. She should have stopped that line of conversation. Andre is drunk, girl. You can see the pink here. He is pink everywhere. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Let's fight. And let me tell you right now, if Andre and Charlie got into a fight, my money is on Andre 110,000%. Okay? Oh, Brenda, you can go. You can go, Brenda. Hide user on this. Bye. Great. Like, I just can't. I literally cannot stand Charlie doing that. Andre was wrong, but he was also drunk, and Charlie has been provoking him. He was. Gregory says that they want to spin off so that bum won't have to work. Listen, I would watch their spinoff. Are you guys going to watch Darcy and Stacy? I'm gonna watch that too because it's a mini 90 Day Fiance because Stacey is filming exclusively. Come on, Silva sisters, come on. Okay, let's talk. Let's get off of Andre and Libby. I don't know where you guys stand on them. Like that's what happened with them. Come on. Let's talk about the fact that the Silva sisters brokered a deal with 90 Day Fiance or TLC or Matt Sharp Entertainment where Stacey is not going to just be a cast member of 90 Day Fiance. She's not going to be she is going to be a starring member of her own reality show with her twin sister. And she's going to be marrying somebody on a K1 visa. Listen. If the money ain't right, you know what I'm saying? If the money ain't right, what did Ricky Wren say? Let me go back. What did this person say? Oh, I missed it. Oh, I'm annoyed that family because they make me take Andre's side. Yes, they do. They do make you take it. Ooh, Candy. Thank you. Will you be reviewing Married at First Sight this season? I gotta start watching it. Should I? If you guys want me to do a Married at First Sight, please put MAFS in the comment. MAFS, 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 if you want me to watch it. But like, I just, listen, make that money, Silva sisters. Do what you gotta do. Okay? Build up House 11. Live your life. I support them 100%. They're good TV. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Jessie Lee. Hi, Kirby. Okay, we're all saying maps. I see you. What about Love After Lockup? That show is a whole must. Oh, I've been watching Love After Lockup. I have just been forgetting to go live about it. I've got to do Love After Lockup too. All right, put LAL in the comment section if you're down for that too. Okay, so Love After Lockup, girl. Did I finish talking about 90 Day Fiance? Did I already finish talking about? Oh, listen, Steven and Destiny. Listen, I want to punch Steven in his whole face. The one that got 6 kids, who went on a shopping spree in a thrift store with his daughter, talking about he spent $35,000 on this woman. Now, I know that the daughter's style might be thrift store style, but come on, man. And then he gonna bring her some cold ass tacos. Like, I already talked about Tanya and Sinjin. Oh no. No. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna catch up on Love After Lockup. I'm gonna catch up on The Other Way. I'm gonna come on later on tonight and talk about one of those things. I think I have more to say about Love After Lockup. Woo! Wow, did you see the footage from the failed reality show they did? Did anyone see the comments? No, I didn't see it. Oh, check out. Oh, did I watch Indian Matchmaking? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Indian Matchmaking. Woo, it was good. It was good. Who stood out to me the most? I think her name was Ankita. That's my bitch. The one who owns her own clothing company. I went on her website to see if I could buy something, and it was not expensive at all. It was like $56 for a jean skirt. I mean, I know the shipping would be crazy, but like, she was my girl. Who else was my girl? Oh, Chantel, thank you so much for the super chat. Indian Matchmaking is on Netflix. It's basically Indian American and Indian from India young people who have pulled in the help of this matchmaker. I don't know why I can't remember her name. She says it every time she walks into somebody's house from Mumbai. And she she then goes into her like lexicon of eligible, like the bio data, which is like when you have, I guess, enough money, or if you're of a certain class, or you, I don't know, girl, you like send in your kids' information. It's like online profile, but it's not online. This woman just has a huge like database of all these people, and she tries to match you based on your qualities. So she meets with the families and all that stuff. Like Seema. Oh yeah, Seema from Mumbai. Yeah, Seema from Mumbai. Hi, hello, I'm Seema from Mumbai. Yes, she was great. Yeah, listen, there was a lot of colorism shit that I didn't like, you know? There was a lot of sexist shit I didn't like. But, oh yeah, Prad, I don't know how to say his name, but I thought he was gay. I didn't think he was douchey. I just think that he's gay. But anyways, that's it, you guys. We're at 55 minutes. I'm going to end this live here. I should come back and talk about all these other things. I just don't want to do like 5 lives in one day, you know? But if you guys are down, I'm down. I saw a matchmaking show on Lifetime channel. Oh, really? All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for those of you who gave me super chats. It is much appreciated. Much love going out to you guys. I know that we're all kind of going through something in this time. I'm going through it too. I'm feeling it. It's like a low-grade depression. I've been in therapy every 2 weeks trying to talk about it, get through it. And it's hard. It's rough, but we're making it through and we're doing the best that we can. And so I thank you guys for being here and supporting me. And I want to thank my moderators, me, Shannon, Jesse Lee, and Mickey, who's already left. And thank you guys so much for being here. So I'm going to try to go live tonight talking about The Other Way. And then I need to talk about everything else. Y'all deserve to hear it. We deserve to kiki, okay? We deserve to kiki. All right. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.